to, come off a series like this, but to know what's ahead coming up here this next week for you for, pretty challenging games, does that kind of like allow you to keep that within where they can stay positive, stay focused on what's ahead instead of what had just happened?
Yeah, I mean, we'll have a windshield mentality, but we'll learn from this. I mean, we'll go over our game goals. We'll watch video like we do after every game, and win or lose. There's good and bad in every game, win or lose, and we will learn and grow from this. Even if we would have won, or even if we would have swept. I mean, we did the same thing last weekend, watching some opportunities for growth after playing Binghamton. So it's one of those things when you have the target on growth, there's just no finish line, and that's kind of how we look at it. Is we didn't get the reward. The scoreboard wasn't in our favor, but the target will very much be on how can we get better. And tomorrow we'll meet as a staff. We meet every Monday from 9 to 1, and we'll do an after-action report and a needs assessment, and we will break it all down, and we'll watch a ton of film, and we'll get very tactical and strategic with this, and we'll put guys in the right roles where they can have the most success and help the team. And but yeah, we're very much looking forward to USC Upstate. I know what's after that, the weekend after that, but right now our focus has to be on USC Upstate and exclusively on playing well on Tuesday, and that's really what it's about. It's not even about who the opponent is. It's just we need to play to a higher standard. That's Clemson baseball. That's the expectations of this program, and that's the disappointing thing with this weekend is we just didn't play well. It's if we play well and we get beat straight up, then we get beat straight up. But I just didn't feel like we played our best baseball, and but that's a good thing that this team is going to find the positives in that to get better from it, and it's going to callous our mind. And we may didn't think we'd have this many losses we're at this point, but we are going to certainly use them to our advantage to get better from it.
As you talked about coming into the season, that you wanted games versus adversity to see how they respond when they took the punch against Purdue. You at all surprised by how they reacted to the punch, or was there any aspects that you feel like need to improve, or was it kind of, could you see some of this coming, I guess, in terms of the way they play?
Yeah, I think when you play in this league, this is one of those leagues where, and I would put UCF in that same category, as a program that's a regional contender. They're going to the Big 12. They've got very physical players, very talented players. So it's a conference-esque caliber weekend, and this type of league would chew you up and spit you out if you can't take that punch. And I thought we have so far been doing a good job of responding when we needed to, and we get down and we come back and get down and come back and tie it up, but there really is there's no end to that. It's if you get knocked down 7 times, you get back up 8 times, and I just felt like that 7th inning today turned out to be a knockout punch, and it shouldn't have been. It should have been a 2-spot inning, and okay, so what? We throw a bunt away and we're down 2, and we get the next guy out, and we find a way to shut it down right there. And those are the things when we're talking about from neck down versus neck up. Those are the things that we're not lacking anything from a physical standpoint. We have all the pieces. We at least feel like we have very physically talented players, and whether it's a mental game routine or just being able to still stick with it and be resilient in a moment of adversity. Those are the things that can be trained, and they get trained as they happen. And so that's why, even though as much as disappointing as this is right here, this is going to be a very valuable experience for us moving forward, going into as we move into this week and move into conference play and just move into the rest of the season. These are all valuable pieces of experience that are going to help us get better, because we're going to be chasing at the end what all teams are chasing, and that's the surge, that's the spike, that's playing well when it means the most. But the teams that are the championship teams, it's the ones who are battle tested. It's very rarely the ones who went untested and go wire to wire with this unscathed season where they have no weaknesses. It's the teams that it had that adversity along the way, and that's truly what makes their team and shapes their identity and is part of their journey. So this is going to be part of ours, and it's not a feeling we want to get used to. But we certainly want to learn from it and move on and be better starting Tuesday.
What did you tell Oldenchuk? Because he looked really hurt after that bad throw over to first as he tried to get it over there. What did you tell him to kind of get him past that and not so much stay stuck on it?
Ty's one of our toughest kids. I mean, he is, he's a foxhole guy for me. I'd want Ty Oldenchuk in the foxhole anytime. I love that guy, and he's as tough as they come. And he was the right guy in the right spot, and he got 2 big strikeouts. We put him in that spot for a reason. And they dropped a drag bunt down. He was like a cat off the mound. He grabbed it, he picked it up perfectly, and the throw got away from him. So I know he's going to be better in those situations again, because he's going to be in those situations a lot. If he's in the game, it's in a big moment. It's a high leverage situation. That's kind of what his role is. He's a high leverage relief pitcher, and so for a guy like that, he's just got to, like all of our pitchers and all of our players, they just need to be able to flush the previous pitch. That previous pitch has its own life, a beginning and an end, and the next pitch is all that matters. And the most important pitch of the game is this one. And so I think just reinforcing some of our mental game training and being able to play pitch to pitch is something that we'll use this weekend to reinforce. But I didn't really tell him anything, after that inning. I mean, he's a competitor, and he knows. But I think if we had that inning over again, and or if he was in that same situation again, I would think that he would find a way to just shut it off after those 2 runs. I know he would.
Joe Allen's a guy that you've put into some high leverage situation as well for freshman-wise. Someone you feel comfortable putting in there.
Yeah, Joe's pitched well in the innings that we've used him, and so it's kind of one of those situations where to start the year he was in a margin role where he would get an inning if the game was maybe we were up 7 or something, but as he's pitched well and really shown good poise and good command, we've decided to put him in some roles where the stakes are a little bit higher. I've liked the way that he's responded, and he's done a nice job, and he's a guy that's got a special pitch with the changeup. He's got good running, sinking action on his fastball, and he's got a good slider and 3 pitches for strikes. And with the poise that he's shown, he's just has been a guy that, while we've had a couple of other guys out, he's stepped up in that spot and done a nice job.
Speaking of you guys out, what's the latest of Tyler Corbett and his status, I guess?
He seems to be progressing well. He had the high ankle sprain, and that's one of those ones that just kind of needs time. Tries to come back, aggravates it a little more, but I would expect he'll be ready at least to swing. But he's been doing pregame, and he's been doing a lot of activity, and he'll be a good bat to get back in there.
You think you might get him back for Carolina series?
Maybe, yeah. Hope so.
Well, Taylor had a couple of doubles today, and how do you feel like he's progressing and settling back into full baseball season?
Yeah, he's such a twitchy, dynamic, explosive athlete that for him, it was just more getting his timing down, and for him, that's really all it was. And I thought he did a pretty good job of making the adjustment from Friday to today, where he was maybe looked a little out of rhythm, a little late on the fastball, a little early on the off speed, and today he was on time for the fastball. And did a good job being on time for the fastball, but also being able to catch the off-speed pitches out front and put the barrel on the ball. And he's obviously one of the best athletes on campus, and so having him in there is a big deal. And seeing him hit the ball the way he did provides a pretty significant jolt to our offense. So it's good seeing him in there because he's a true weapon offensively for sure.
Anything else for Coach?
What'd you see out of Dill today, and how will you evaluate that weekend rotation going forward?
Dill's got good stuff. He said the strike percentage and the efficiency of his pitches is probably something we need to work on. I think he was at high 80s pitches after 3 1/3, almost 90, and it was kind of same thing last weekend where he was at 80 pitches or so after 4 innings. And a guy like him that's big and strong and physical, and it's got a low 90s fastball with the 4-seam, has good induced vertical break, and he's got the slider and the change. I mean, he's got the stuff. It's just more being efficient with it and maybe harnessing the command in the zone a little bit better, letting the defense work. We had a few too many free passes, a couple of hit by pitches, and just some spray. And if we can eliminate the spray and be a little bit more accurate, I think that's a guy that has a chance to, keep his pitch count down, be able to go, 2-3 times through the order and be a little bit more effective from the quality of a start.
Anything else for Coach?
I guess just, again, going back to the adversity piece, are you been more excited, I guess, to see how they respond, obviously UCF State, but then the South Carolina series, having just had a series like this?
Absolutely, yeah. This is all part of it. I mean, and it's fresh in my mind because having seen the 2019 Michigan team that just stumbled and fell and got back up and fell down again and got back up, and it's so clear, and it's you never have everything figured out as a coach, but there are a couple things you do have figured out, and one of those things is however many times you get knocked down, you got to get back up, and by the end of it, the teams that get hot, they get hot for a reason because they're resilient, they're tough, they're battle tested, they've overcame. And some of the teams that don't, it's because they're hitting adversity for the first time maybe in the postseason and don't handle it. And so I think this will be what happened this weekend is, as much as I hate this taste in my mouth right now, and so do our players and our fans and everyone who loves Clemson is upset right now, but this will end up being a positive for our team in the long run. We're just going to keep the target on getting better and growth, and we'll make sure of that.
Anything on Willie Weiss, why he wasn't available this weekend?
Yeah, he just tweaked his back, and hopefully get him back here real soon. But yeah, he was unavailable this weekend, and that's a big, late inning piece that we'll need. So hopefully he'll be good to go this weekend.
All right, thank you, Coach.
All right, thank you guys.
Appreciate it, Derek.
Appreciate it.